Hey guys, what's up? It's Ben, the Fat Coach, helping separate fat from fiction. And today I just want to talk a little bit about the cost of eating healthily, because there's a load of myths around the place to do with meat and to do with fat and to do with how we should eat. Okay, and that's wall to wall, and it's probably quite deliberate. You can basically trace it back to big money. The food industry is one of the world's biggest. The pharma industry is not far behind catching up. But there's one of the myths out there is that it's to eat a paleo or keto or carnivore diet is going to cost you a lot more money than eating anything else. Okay, now there is some truth in it, but I don't think it's necessarily so. I mean, for example, I just want to pull up this article that was shared on Facebook today. So is it from 21st of December? Mum reveals she's eating children's leftovers and can't afford Christmas, right? And then there are a lot of people making fun of the fact that the lady is clearly obese and saying, I think you're getting plenty to eat because you're a fatty, right? I take exception to that because it's not calories in, calories out. Now that's going to be the whole subject of a whole different discussion. Okay, it's not that she's getting too many calories, because not all calories are created equal. There are some things that you can put in your mouth that will tell your body to get fat. There are some things that you can put in your mouth that tell your body to get fat less than others, right? Sugar, fructose, seed oils, all not good. All right, so high fructose corn syrup, terrible stuff. We can go into all the ins and outs of some of the mechanisms of how this works, but bottom line is that you are supposed to get fat. You are supposed to get fat at a particular time of year when there's plenty of food available. There's fruits on the trees and the bushes, and the grazing animals are eating grass that has gone to seed, which contains omega-6 fatty acids and so on and so forth. And that combination of elevated omega-6 fatty acids in your diet, combined with a load of sugars and extra carbs from fruits, would help you to lay down fat, to help you to survive the winter. It's absolutely critical. Okay. The problem is that we're eating that crap all day, every day, 365 days a year. And most people in the Western world now are in super accelerated fat storage mode 365 days of the year. You don't even have to go and forage for the bloody stuff because it's on every shelf. Right? It's called hyper-processed food. So, is it more expensive to get your nutrients? Well, the first thing that I would say is you have to reframe what you mean by the cost of food, because if you compare simply the ticket price of, I don't know, a loaf of bread to, let's say, here we go, a tub of pate, okay? Having said that, this is about 55p, so what, 65 cents in US from Aldi, and it's made of liver, and it's packed with nutrition, right? That is probably about as much nutrition as you need in a day. But what you've got to do is you've got to reframe your thinking away from the bulk of what you're getting to how much nutrition are you getting for your money. Because one of the key things that I very much believe is that the people like the lady that we saw on the newspaper article, one of the main reasons why I think people overeat is because your body is actually starving. It's not starving for calories, right? It's not starving for bulk of food. It's starving for nutrition, because the most of what most people eat today, right, the standard diet, is comprised of wheat and corn and soy and sugar and seed oils, right? And these things they simply don't have the nutrition that your body needs. The seed oils are packed with energy, right? But they've got far too many omega-6s in them, right? And all the other starchy rubbish, you can forget about it, right? There's almost no nutrition whatsoever in bread, pasta, rice, and sugar. Right? Sugar gives you really nothing that your body needs. So we've got to think about it in terms of nutrition. Now, if your body is starved of nutrition, how can it tell you? What has it got? What tools has it got at its disposal to tell you, I'm starving for nutrition, right? All it's got is hunger and cravings, right? But problem is, when you go into a convenience store or grocery store and you walk out with a pile of crap, you try and give your body what it's shouting for and screaming for, and all you're doing is putting load more crap in, load more calories in, load more instructions that, hey, it's high summer, let's store fat for the winter, and no bloody nutrition because it ain't in it. So you're screwed, right? You're going to have high insulin spikes all throughout the day. You're going to want to keep eating and eating and eating frequently. So, is it her fault that she's obese? No. No, it's the fault of the governments, the food companies, the faulty science that tells people that this stuff is okay and it ain't okay. So, about 55p an Aldi, right? That has probably got all the nutrition you need in a day, right? Combine it with lard, something like 43 pence. That's like 50 cents in US. This is pork lard. Comes from Denmark. Aldi pork lard comes from Denmark. The pigs may have been fed soy and grains and stuff like that, but it is still one of the best sources of energy that you can get. There's no comparison with anything starchy or anything sugary because there's no nutrition in that stuff. It's just energy. It spikes your insulin. It turns into glucose, fructose in your bloodstream. You can't really metabolize the fructose. It has to be handled by your liver. It can lead to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And glucose, it's just sugar. It just gets converted into triglycerides, pushed into fat cells. So there you go. The other big difference, of course, is animal fats can contain vitamins A and D and E and K. And there is no fat really from the plant world that can store those fat-soluble vitamins, so there you go. This has got nutritional value, whereas anything floury or sugary simply doesn't. So is it expensive? No, and quite honestly, on the Big Fat Challenge, one of the things that we'll be doing, because it's all about making the transition in a very practical way, an experiential way, away from hyper-processed non-food, right, food-like products, to nourishing your body properly. And when you nourish your body properly, you've got a happy body. Okay, but we've got to do it in a practical way, and the home economic side of that is definitely something that we're very keen on. My wife works at a cookery school. She specialises in butchery. She spent all yesterday making sausages, for example. She got a big bag of beef trim from a local abattoir. And I think she said she paid £4 per kilo for the beef trim. And out of that beef trim, we pulled out a beautiful flat iron steak, right, ready done. It fed both of us last night, and there's some left over. And I've had a little bit today, and it cost less than £4, right? And it fed 2 adults. So, yeah, if you are going to buy your food from the supermarkets off the shelves and you're going to get processed stuff, then it may be more expensive. It may seem more expensive. But the other thing is, as well, you've got to bear in mind, when you're nourishing your body properly, you don't need as much food. Right? I will eat twice a day. I used to eat 3, 4, 5 times a day. I had to, because I was starving. The short answer is no, not really. There's no reason why it should cost you any more to nourish your body properly. Thanks for watching. See you soon.